Good morning, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and you are joining me for another weekly reading vlog. It is Monday. I'm excited for this week. It's going to be kind of a different week and I'm going to see how far I can take you guys along with me. But first, I want to acknowledge that I did cut my hair and I'm loving it. So I always wear my hair in ponytails, like you can never tell, but I took off maybe like 3 or 4 inches. I just felt like cutting it. My birthday's next month and I just felt like doing something new and different, and so I am loving it and loving that I can wear it down more without feeling it's in the way. It feels healthier, it's got more bounce, so I want to put that in space. I'm loving it. Okay, so this weekend was a really good weekend. So I was able to join on some reading sprints. I talked about this a little bit on Saturday and was so excited. I didn't get much footage because I was just like in the moment. So Saturday, I was invited to get on Bookish Knitter, Sarah's reading sprint, and it was really, really good. It's a reading and productivity sprint. She does them on Saturdays starting at, well, it's 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And it was so good. It was nice chatting with people that I had seen. It felt like, I don't want to say I was fangirling, but I was definitely geeking out. And all of the ladies were very nice. So it was Lee from Dark Roots Creation, it was Tiffany from Beach Bum Bookworm, and Sarah from Bookish Knitter, and Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Reads Books. And so it was a really good time. It was nice to sort of engage with them, and we're all around the same age, and so it was nice just to be with like grown folks talking about books. Loved it. So then on Sunday, I popped on just a little bit to Tiffany's sprint. Her sprints are later on Sundays. It hits right around the time that we're like gearing up for the week. So it's like dinner, getting Reagan ready for her routine for Monday and stuff like that. So I stayed on for just a second, and hopefully in the future I can stay on for a little bit longer when there's not so much going on. This week we are going on our family vacation to New York. And so I just feel like crunched for time on doing things. And so that was part of the reason why I had to hop off. But all the ladies are very nice, very gracious, very down to earth. Really, really enjoyed that space and that community. Love being a part of that. So, and lots of new subscribers now from joining those sprints. So if you are new, thank you so much. If you are checking out but you're not subscribed, check out my other content. Consider if this is a channel that you would like to subscribe to. So this weekend, I finished a few things. So I think the last thing we talked about was me finishing The Naturals, which I did. Then I finished Claudia and the Mean Janine, and that one was pretty good. It was really sad. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars or 5 stars, but it was really sad. This is the story that involves Mimi's stroke, and there's just parts in it around that sibling, not rivalry even, but just like the sibling dynamic of everybody fits a box. And, you know, when you put somebody in the box for too long, like, are they that person, or are you just placing them in the box, right? And so without giving the whole story away, I thought it was good. And I am now moving on to Boy Crazy Stacy. So I read that one recently. I think I read that one last year. It's on my Kindle, but I also have the paper copy, so I'll be reading that. And then I read The Friend Zone, and I did give it 2 stars. I want to be transparent that toward the end, I skimmed the mess out of it because it was not that great. So it's my understanding the books by Abby Jimenez go The Friend Zone, the Happily Ever After playlist, and then Life's Too Short. I loved those last 2, Happily Ever playlist and Life's Too Short. This one just didn't hit for me. I don't know if it's because it's the first in the trilogy or what, but there were some major book icks in this. First, I've talked about this before, but one of my major book icks is when the author is just like diehard saying how tiny the girl is. I don't care how big you are. Okay, so let's just put that out there. And we're all women reading these books mostly. I don't care that your feet don't touch the ground. I don't care that he can pick you up over his shoulders. I don't care that you drive a big truck and you can't even barely get into it. Like, that is just so irritating to me to read. I don't know why. I don't like it. And this book was full of that. And then another thing that got me, and this is polarizing, but the girl in the story, there's suspected that somebody's breaking into her house. And so the guy that she just met, who's helping her out with her business, decides he's gonna stay and be the protector. His name is Josh, and so of course this is like the love interest, and he goes to his house and she goes with him because she can't be left in her home alone anymore. And he grabs his gun and he's loading his gun, and I'm just not a gun person, so that threw me off. And I was just like, okay. And she's just like talking about how hot that was for her and she loved it. And then there was something else. Oh, and the other thing about her as a character, which I can't remember her name now, was the fact that she was very like, I can do this all myself, I'm independent, but like in the most like annoying way possible. Like, you're gonna risk your life to prove independence, like whatever. So as you can tell, I did not care for that book. I gave it 2 stars to be nice, but I really didn't care for that book at all. So those are the things that I still am reading Daughter of No Worlds. I've gotten maybe about 20% in it. I was just reading it. It's got to catch up. Okay, I'm on page 101. I'm on 21% into the book. It's still very good. There's nothing wrong with the book. I'm taking it nice and slow because it is longer. And I want to read other things at the same time, but I'm touching it every day so I don't lose sight of the world. And so I also tried to read Too Wrong to Be Right by Melanie Johnson yesterday. I just randomly saw it on, where did I see it? I think I saw it on like a suggested book for me in Kindle, and I found it on Libby, but I didn't enjoy it. So I got about 11% into it and then I returned it. And then I also downloaded the book Love in Books by Erin Branscombe. I read another one of her books. It's a series where they all work at this like INN. And so I liked one of them. This one just came out, so I picked that up. And then, as they usually do, the Kindle deals, I picked up the book Mr. Perfect on Paper by Jean Meltzer. I've had that on my list for a while, and then they finally had that Eleanor Ophuliant is Completely Fine on sale too, which are both great books that I want to read, but I'm not in a rush. So what am I actually going to be reading this week? As I talked about for August, I didn't have like a theme or like any really strong things that I wanted to read. I'm kind of just like continuing to clean up things that have been lingering on my TBR, and just whatever comes to me. So at the beginning of the week, I'll kind of tell you what I'm reading. And then I think September, October, I'll go back to my TBRs. I'm already like setting up my October TBR because last year was the first year I did this, so I will continue. Last year I did a whole month of like spooky Halloween inspired. So I read spooky middle grades, I read witch romance stories, I read cozies, and I loved it. So I'm already gathering those up. But for this week, I am going to continue my Daughter of No Worlds. Like I said, I'm on page 101 now. And this book has about 500 pages in it. So again, I'm not in a rush to read it. I'll get to it. It's still good. There's nothing absolutely wrong with this book. I love it. I love the way it's written. I like the characters. I'm following it easily. It's just in the background as I finish other things. I'm also going to be reading Hot and Sour Suspects by Vivian Chin. This is book 8 of her Noodle Shop mystery. I just read book 9 last week. Really enjoyed it, and now I remembered that I had Hot and Sour Suspects on my Kindle already paid for, so I just want to read that. And they're pretty quick, and I liked the last one, so I'm just going to go with that flow. I also picked up Maisie Chin's Last Chance by Lisa Yee. I picked this up at the bookstore last week. I'm already on chapter 12. I picked it up last night. The chapters are really short. Obviously, it's a middle grade. So far, it's starting off really good. I like Lisa Yee's style of writing. She writes stories about Asian Americans and some of the difficulties that they face against segregation, discrimination, things like that. So interested to read that. And then of course in the background, I'll be reading Boy Crazy Stacy. I have this book, but I also have it on Kindle, and so I will be reading that. So today during reading sprints, which is Monday, my favorite day for sprints. I'll probably be mostly reading these two because I feel like I get these knocked out pretty quickly in the beginning of the week. I can focus on Hot and Sour Suspects as well as Daughter of No Worlds later in the week. Thursday is when we go to New York, and so I'm hoping to get some reading done on the plane, hoping to get some reading done at night. I will check in. Hopefully I have some great video footage for you guys to show, but I'm just really, really excited about that. So those are my plans for Monday. Clearly I've had coffee today, and I'll check in later. Bye guys. Good morning and happy Tuesday. I am headed to a speaking engagement, so I wanted to hop on here. One, while I was all made up, and two, before like humidity hit my hair and like the day started. So here we are. So yesterday, of course, was Monday. Reading sprints were happening. As we're preparing for our New York trip, I had to hop off reading sprints at about 7:30. They usually end around 8 or 8:15, but I hopped off just a little bit early because I had some things I needed to prepare and just get done before the trip, because I don't want to have to worry about any work stuff while I am on my trip. And I needed to prepare for the presentation today and just like practice, run through it, print it out, all the things. So I did get some reading done, but I didn't read the whole time. After work yesterday, I jumped into Maisie Chin's Last Chance. I am on page 71 now, so I read about 30 or so pages yesterday, 40 pages. And this book is really good so far. And so we're following Maisie Chin. Her family has just went to Last Chance, Minnesota to visit her grandparents who own a restaurant, but have not really been in her life for years. They had some ethical differences, right? So they cook, I want to say Chinese food in, is it Chinese food? In Minnesota. And her mom is a food stylist in LA. And so they came to visit her once and were so thrown off by just like what goes into food styling. They didn't feel like it was real food and it was like a disgrace or whatever. So that's kind of from Maisie Chin's point of view. I don't know what the backstory yet is from the adult perspective on why the grandparents have not visited. But anyway, they're back and they're helping to support Maisie's grandparents. Her grandpa's not doing well health-wise. He's trying to be energetic, but they are having to take care of him a bit. And while Maisie gets to know him, he's giving a story about her ancestry and how they actually got to Last Chance. She's also meeting some friends, and Last Chance, Minnesota seems pretty rural, and there's just not a lot of diversity. And so the kids in the town who are not white have experienced some discrimination, some name calling, and so we're kind of exploring that as well. So again, on page 71, really enjoying this, and the only thing that's stopping me from like tearing this up is that I'm trying to read a couple books at the same time. So then I went back to Killer Instinct, or maybe started. I don't know if I talked about starting it. And this is book 2 in the Naturals series. After I was reading book 1, I downloaded book 2 to my Kindle because it was really good. I wanted to have it ready to go. I'm about 27% in. So far, it's pretty good. It's not hitting the way the Naturals did, to be honest, but it's pretty good. So it is still following our same cast of characters. As we know, something happened to the female officer, was it Officer Locke or Detective Locke in our last book. If you didn't read the last book, I won't tell you what happened. But we have a new female detective, and she has some connections with people in the household. We're trying to figure out, like, what were those connections? How do they still play a part in what's going on? There's a new case happening, and nobody wants the crew to be working on it because it is a live case. They're only allowed to work on cold cases. And so, of course, they're going to try to find a way to get in on this case, even though it's not their case to solve. So that should be interesting. What else? Okay, so then I also read more of Daughter of No Worlds yesterday. Again, I like the book. And what page am I on? Maybe not. Did I read more yesterday? maybe I didn't, because I'm still on page 101. I think I talked about that in my last vlog, but I'm still liking it. I read it yesterday at doctor's appointment. I read it at the doctor's appointment. Still liking it. It's just slowly moving in the background. And I was trying to start Hot and Sour Suspects by Vivian Chin. I actually didn't start that yesterday. And so I was just kind of focused on Killer Instinct and the Maisie Chin's Last Chance. So my goal would be to finish one or both of these books today, because now we're like on day 2 or 3 of these. So I would like to get these done and then move on to something else. Something more lighthearted would be great. And yeah, so we'll see where we're at with that. So if anything else happens, I'll check in, but I don't think so. We have some errands to do for the trip. And so I'll do that after work today, and then a little bit more reading. So that is what is happening. All right, guys, have a great day. See you in the next clip. Hey, guys, happy Wednesday. I'm hopping on really quickly to update you for today. It's later. It's about 6 p.m., but it's been like a whirlwind day. So this is the day before our New York vacation, and I don't know why I didn't take today off of work. I should have. But not only did I work today, but I did like an in-person thing today, which such a privilege and luxury to mostly work from home, but I have the, I do get to schedule myself, right? And so for some reason I thought, yeah, I'll schedule myself for in-person thing the day before having to go. And that was just hectic, because I was there physically, but mentally I was thinking about all the things I need to be doing at the end of the day. And so, yeah. Okay, anyway, yesterday I actually didn't get that much read. So I'm still reading, what am I reading? Maisie Chin's Last Chance. I read about 20 more pages of that. I'm not loving it as I thought I would. A lot of people really liked that book, and I'm not really loving it. It's not giving what I need it to give at the moment. And then I'm also really reading Killer Instinct, and I'm not loving that one either. But I'm about 30% in, and so I am committed to finishing it. And I don't think anything's wrong with either book. I think it's a hectic week. I was focused on finishing up work and getting things squared away at home before the trip. And so like, that is very obvious to me that is part of it. But I'm bringing my Kindle on the plane to read. And I still have Daughter of No Worlds to read on that as well. So I do plan to read while on vacation, and I do plan to vlog a little bit. So we'll see. My book of the month came today, and this was a rough choice for me. I didn't know what to pick because nothing sounded really good, but what I ended up doing was, I do like to still pick things because like I pay for the subscription, and after I get over the initial shock of like, hey, there's nothing here that I want to read, then I'm like, you know what, let me step out of my box and get something different that I might not have done. So I picked up Family Lore by Elizabeth Escovedo, and I do love that she is a writer of color, and so love to support that. And oh, she wrote another book, The Poet X. Okay, and this says, Fleur has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. Oh gosh, that's like not my vibe at all. So when she decides she wants a living wake, a party to bring her family and community together to celebrate the long life she's led, her sisters are surprised. Has Fleur foreseen her own death or someone else's? Does she have other motives? She refuses to tell her sisters Mathilde, Pastora, and Camilla. But Fleur isn't the only person with secrets. Her sisters are hiding things too. And the next generation, cousins Ona and Yadi, face tumult of their own. Spanning the 3 days prior to the wake, Family Lore traces the lives of each of the martyr women, Marte, M-A-R-T-E, women, weaving together past and present, Santo Domingo and New York City. Told with Elizabeth Escovedo's inimitable voice, this is an indelible portrait of sisters and cousins, aunts, and nieces, one family's journey through their history, helping them better navigate all that is to come. Guys, this is not my type of book. Okay, this is going in the way back. I want to support. I'm judging a book by its cover, but like, this is not the themes that I generally read. I really don't like reading things about death, or predicting death or glorifying death. Like, I don't like any of that. So we'll see. But I did pick a book because I had book of the month. This is one I picked. So maybe at some point I will get into this, but I really don't like that heavy of a topic. Anyway, that is what I got from book of the month. So like I said, I haven't done much reading, but I will be reading on the plane and in the hotel and all those things. So excited about that. And then I did order some new bookmarks from my favorite place, My Secret Copy. When they come in, I will show them to you. But she has a really nice shop, and it's just magnetic bookmarks, but they're really cute. This is one from a past order. It's called My Secret Copy. Good pricing. And I really like the magnetic ones. But I also like and have been craving just regular bookmarks like this to put inside my books. But I haven't found any cute ones yet. So if you know of any, comment down below a shop that sells really cute bookmarks. Anyway, that is all for Wednesday. I will check back in on the plane to New York. Hey everybody, and happy Thursday. Just checking in really quickly. We have made it to New York. We have spent the day traveling. We had the first flight out, so it was like we were up at 1-ish in the morning, went to the airport, all a great experience, and then had some time exploring in Times Square, and then like we literally crashed. Like we all fell asleep except my oldest, and then we grabbed dinner, just some McDonald's because it was raining a lot today. So McDonald's was pretty close to our hotel, so we are excited. But I wanted to just check in. So last night, knowing I had to get up early, I was like, let me make sure I read before bed because it always makes me a little bit tired. So I picked up Educated by Nellie Wilson. It's the Museology book 2. I read the last book, I want to say maybe beginning of this year, end of last year, and it was just okay, maybe a 3 stars, but this one is definitely turning out better. It is in the same universe with companion characters, but a different love story. And so I'm about 11% in, reading some tonight, and I really am enjoying it. I didn't get much reading done, or any reading done on the airplane, because the motion and reading still would have made me a little sick. So yeah, just reading and checking in for Thursday, hoping to add some clips of our time in New York to this vlog as well. All right, I will check in tomorrow. Hey guys, and happy Saturday. Welcome to the last day of this vlog. As you can see, I am still in New York, and it has been a great time. Hopefully I can put some footage in of some things that we've done, but I have lightly been reading, and I've been reading the book Educated by Nellie Wilson. It's a really cute rom-com book about a inexperienced girl who works at the museum. She's part of the other Museology series. She's in that same universe. And her friend Declan, who works at the local bar that she goes to after work, and they are friends, and it might turn into boyfriend girlfriend, so we shall see. But I'm only about 30% in it. Like I said, I started it the day before we traveled to Wednesday night to try to fall asleep, and then I've just been reading it lightly before bed after doing all the things, but that's to be expected. We're on vacation, so looking forward to a better reading week next week, finishing up some books, grabbing some books. I feel like a Barnes trip is in my future. And yeah, that's it for this vlog. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I generally post on Thursdays and Sundays. This Thursday I didn't because I was out of town. But thanks to all my new subscribers. Appreciate the support, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.